We are honored to have with us a speaker who, by his story, can show us by example where this day can take you. A brave heart in every sense who displayed courage and empathy in the line of fire, and a reminder that the ultimate goal of education is service to others. Sir, these attributes make you a true role model to the aspiring students of Bishop Cotton's. May I request our guest of honor, Lieutenant Colonel Padma Kumar Pillay, to bring greetings.
Thank you very much for this great honor. Respected Chief Guest, Sir, Reverend Bishop Sadanand, Principal Professor John Zakaria, esteemed members of the faculty, fellow parents, and my dear students, graduating students, and current students. Firstly, I must acknowledge how proud I am here to be standing as a parent of Cottonians, 2 of them here now, 1 waiting to join the school. Looking at you all, so confident, ready to take on the world. I'm just so happy about my decision to send my children here. There's nothing that can stop a Cottonian after what I heard, a school captain. I really liked your speech, full of pep. Well done. I'm, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank the principal and the staff of this great school for turning young boys into fine young men who can take on any challenge in their lives. The school has a great history. We don't need to tell you about it. We all know, and that's the reason why we chose to send our children here. And I know a couple of Cottonians who studied here and passed out, graduated from here. And I always wanted to join the Bishop Cotton, but I landed up in Frank Anthony, where your principal was my school captain. So then we have our relatives who studied from here. And then one of the finest generals from the Indian Army, General K.S. Thimayya, who set standards and wrote history of our country in the dawn of independence, is from the school. Seeing you all here takes me back to my own school graduation about 30 years ago. There was hope and expectations in the air, goals to fulfill, dreams to achieve. I'm sure many of you will go on to achieve laurels greater than what you had dreamt of. I won't give you any lecture on what to do in life, but as a soldier, as I've been asked to, I must share with you some gist of my experience and what I think is important for young students. I know how children don't like lectures. I have 3 boys, so they don't want any lectures from me, but I must share with you. First and foremost is you must be self-disciplined. You must act on your own as if you're not under supervision by anyone. Let yourself know that you alone shall watch over your own actions and deeds. And I'm saying this because I'm not saying because I'm a soldier, because all great people who have achieved anything have done whatever they had to do because they were led by their own conscience and not because they were under somebody's supervision. So that's foremost. Second is to work hard. The only rule is work. If you work, it will lead to something. And when you strive, and you strive for excellence. Because coming from this school, you'll be pitted against the best. You wouldn't be running around, the wannabes. You will already be amongst the best. You have to work hard and strive for excellence so that you make a difference, like your predecessors before you. And it's always the guys who put in that extra bit, that extra effort, reads the extra book, practice an extra hour, or runs an extra mile who makes it, who succeeds in life. And there's no shortcut to success but hard work. And then again, there are no magic formulas for success. What you may see as a success may be a failure for someone. It doesn't really matter. You must take life as an experiment, take it as it comes. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Just if you make one, doesn't matter, just get up, dust your pants, and move on. And inside you, there should be something that says that you should have the courage to follow your heart, to say that you're doing the right thing. And coming from the army, we lead people who are from different places, different cultures, different races, different languages. One thing that we've learned here, being an Indian and being from the Indian Army, that we learn to respect differences. All of us are not going to come from the same home. The fact that someone dresses differently, someone speaks a different language. Till today, you've been in a school, you've been in Bangalore, you've been together. You're going to meet a lot of other people outside on the streets. So if you see someone who talks differently or has different views, it doesn't mean that person is unacceptable. It means he has had a different upbringing, and you need to, or comes from a different culture, and you need to respect that difference. And that's what makes this country great. Our diversity makes it great. And I feel this variety that is there for us, and being Cottonians, you will all be thrust into responsibility over people, and very important to respect differences amongst people and honor the differences. And then you must ask yourself, when you succeed, in whatever measure, what can you do to give back to the society? The more you give, the more you get, because when you give, you also receive. And choose being kind over being right. Discover the joy of giving, help in any way you can. If you can't, volunteer your time, donate money, because a small little few rupees from your pocket may be a big thing for someone else. I can speak from my example, because I was wounded in an encounter, and I saw a person, when he surrendered, after the encounter was over, the man who surrendered, I had two choices before me, is to actually go and kill him. No one, all is fair in love and war. No one would have asked questions. But I just couldn't get myself to do that, because I wanted to know what is the right thing to do. It is easier to do the wrong and harder to take the right choice. I'm so glad, I stuck to those values and I followed my heart. And like the principal said, have faith and keep the faith. Have your values. Let your values be your guiding light. I think that is the most important. There'll be many who will say, there was pressure on me because we have rules which says that we don't carry prisoners, it's fair to kill. But I had something in my mind, my conscience, which told me that you can't kill a person who surrendered. And you can't kill the young, the child. There was a child who was injured very badly, and that was a girl child. And that's another thing that I want to say, is that we must learn to respect our women, because we are here today because of our women. There was a small girl who was injured, who didn't know what crime she had committed to have got shot there. She didn't know what region she's from, which language she speaks. And she was there. And I'm so glad that I stood up for what is right, and I insisted those girls to survive, because 18 years later, I get honored by the same people. And I believed. Now, when you look back at life and you connect the dots, you realize that there was a purpose in everything. If you follow your instinct, you follow your heart, and you stand up even when the whole world tells you that you're wrong, I think you will be able to connect the dots and realize that what a great thing you've done. And that's what I've realized. And I thank you for this great honor, Principal Sir. It is an honor to have met you in Delhi again when you received the De Rosio Award for Excellence, which is a matter of pride for me as a parent here in the school, to know that this great school has an illustrious principal, and it's in able hands. And I would be failing in my duty if I don't acknowledge the gratitude that the Indian Army has for this Bishop Cotton School, for having produced one of its finest generals, General K.S. Thimaya, who was the first Indian brigade commander during the British era. And after that, he went on to defend and reclaim Kashmir for us in 1948, and also was a chief of army. And on behalf of the army, I would like to present this memento for the school from the Indian Army side. May I request the principal to please come up here. Thank you and all the best. The world is waiting for those 580 Cottonians out. All the best. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir, for those words of advice and inspiration. The modern day Cottonian